Hey guys, Matt McKeever sitting down with Matt Pichet, the fruitful investor. You guys probably seen him on my channel before.
Adam J.D. Martin.
Gotta get that social right.
Yeah, it's true.
Sitting down with Sarah Eder, with Mike Richter from Double E Properties. Hey guys, so I'm sitting down with Luke here at the REITE Club, and I'm sitting down with Mandy. I'm sitting down now with Sarah Larby, one of the co-founders of REITE Club.
Absolutely, I love it, and thank you for being such a great supporter.
Awesome, appreciate it.
Show up with Matt McKeever, basically live with Matt McKeever, drive around with him, learn everything he knows.
And so Matt, I got 3 questions for you.
All right, let's do it.
First one, what's your kind of portfolio look like and what's your main strategy?
So my portfolio is mostly single family properties. I do that for the easiness and the boringness. That's kind of like my bread and butter. And then a lot more duplex conversions we're doing now just to get more equity, more cash flow into that portfolio. And then now we're kind of transitioning to more flips.
So my portfolio today looks like a single family 5-bedroom house that we house hacked the bottom 2 bedrooms of, and then I rent out the top 3 bedrooms on Airbnb. I'm partnered on a 4-plex as well with 2 wonderful partners where I'm the active partner, they're the financial partner. Another really creative financed deal, and then we're closing on another single family house which will be straight Airbnb as well in the Old East Village.
So I am mainly a joint venture real estate investor, so I focus mainly on multifamily and I do a little bit of flips and conversions as well.
So our portfolio looks like now. We started with a bunch of new build pre-construction properties. We have 11 properties in total, well 10 in our portfolio right now. And right now what we have on the go is 3 legal secondary suite conversion projects on the Hamilton Mountain. That's what we have on the go.
My day job is wholesaling real estate. My retirement investing long-term thing is rental properties and Airbnb properties. So my wife and I have several rentals. I think we have about 9 units in total, and that's a mix of long-term rentals, duplexes, and Airbnb cottages. So I think we have 3. We're closing on our 4th this week. Most of them are under reno. We have 1 up and running. So that's the long-term strategy. And then on the wholesaling side, I am on track to buy about 100 houses in the next 12 months from the wholesale perspective, which is my day job.
I'm known as a joint venture queen. I definitely love my joint ventures. It's a way for me to be able to help other people build their wealth and be secured to an asset. My portfolio right now is 140 units, single family conversions to duplexes, triplexes, 4plexes. We have 1 8-unit apartment building.
Nice. And so people are immediately going to ask, when did you start?
2014 we joined a coaching group. 2015 we blew up our properties. We bought 16 and 16, 16 and 17, 14 and 18, and I already have 15 under contract in 2019. And we're June.
I love it, and knows all the facts, can just lay them down perfectly for you guys.
Yeah, so currently 9 properties, and most of the time I will BRRRR properties. Yeah. So my favorite, probably I think your favorite as well, the BRRRR strategy. I also have an Airbnb cottage and triplex that I'm converting and legally converting. And other than that, like the BRRRR strategy is the way to go. But I am looking at some potential new things, like some commercial potentially down the road.
Nice.
And we'll see. One of the things that I think is really important is keep your options open, because I don't want to look for that perfect commercial property that never happens and I'm not doing anything for 5 years. Yeah. So if something comes up in the meantime, I'm going to jump on that.
And so we're at a networking event tonight. What's your #1 networking tip?
I just listen. So a lot of people want to talk about themselves. I just go around and listen to what other people are doing, what do they have to offer, where are they investing, and then just kind of learn from them.
Well, first show up.
Yeah,
is like that's probably the #1 tip, is show up, because a lot of people are afraid that they don't have anything to say or that they're not bringing anything to the table. So the #1 thing you got to do is pack that thought up and just throw it out. But while you're there, you also really want to be actively listening, seeing who's in the room, and then start coming out more and more. Like, repetition is going to get you there. Coming out to one event won't do any good, really. I mean, you'll take some nuggets out, but you really start getting a lot of value when you start repetitively coming out to these events, becoming sort of a mainstay person that you can build these deeper relationships with people, because that's the point. I mean, otherwise you can just read about their stories online or watch the YouTube channel or whatever, if they're sharing that, or follow their social, but the real value you get from these people is building a deep relationship and having them know what you're up to. So if you have no deals, come out and tell people that, and and ask them how they got started. Ask them for strategies for how to get deals when they're in your position, whether that's no money, no source for good deals, or whatever. No credit. You might end up finding wholesalers. You might find out a strategy exists that you never heard of, like a vendor take back. So yeah, come out lots and start building those relationships.
I would say just don't be shy. Sometimes it's easy to feel intimidated, especially if you don't have like a lot to offer. You want to hide in the corner, you don't really know who to connect with. Just even like, talk to the people at your table, be friendly, and just share your stories and get personal with people.
Yeah, I love that. And the key to remember is like everyone's here for real estate, so they want to talk about it.
Exactly.
Usually when you're at house parties and stuff, people don't want to hear us go on and on about real estate. This is the exception at a real estate networking event.
My number one networking tip is always bring value. Always ask yourself when you come in here, it's not about what you can take and come out with. I always say, how can I provide value, connections, contacts, meet people? Just generally come in here with the mindset of providing value for other people, and that's the best return I've gotten from this place.
I mean, if you're scared or nervous to go to a real estate investing event, don't be. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to get in front of anyone if you don't want to. Now, if you do want to get the most you can out of it, a lot of events have opportunities for you to make a pitch. This event, the REITE Club has an opportunity to get on stage for a minute and just pitch what you're looking for. So I typically go up and say, hey, if you want to join my buyers list for off-market deals, come find me. I'll give you my card. It's on my card. So take that opportunity, because that's going to put you in front of the entire room. So that would be the first thing. And the other thing is just get to know people one-on-one. I come to this event every month because instead of going to many different events, I go to a few others, but this is the main one because I get to know people better.
Yeah,
so
build that deeper relationship.
Exactly.
Always have a deal with you when you come to an event to network. Not just maybe, not just, oh, I saw this great, whatever. I'm talking a hard piece of paper that shows you what deal you have to be able to offer somebody when you're networking.
Yeah, I love it because like oftentimes people come and they're talking theoreticals.
Yeah.
Like you want to like
I'm saying, I'm not talking maybe. I'm talking right here, right now. I got a turnkey triplex with $1,160 cash flow. That's what I got.
Just get out of your comfort zone and go meet people. You just ask a lot of questions and be interested in others, and I think you'll form some great connections.
Yeah, the key is it's not that scary, right? Everyone builds it up into a big thing in their head. They psych themselves out. The key is just to take action, show up, meet some nice people, chat about real estate. That's what we're all here for, right?
That's it.
So a lot of my audience, they're younger, they're wanting to get started in real estate investing.
Yeah.
So if you were to start over, let's say you had $25,000 in capital, making $50,000 a year, what would you do to start over?
So if I was young especially, I would buy a duplex and live in one half and rent the other. That is something I wish I did. I just kind of bought like a single family property, stayed with mom and dad, and then bought my next one, etc. But using that duplex would have been a really great strategy to get into real estate while making money, while reducing expenses. And then also I would work for another real estate investor in my area who's doing really well and learn from them.
I think I would actually make a surprisingly similar play to what I've done. And that's not me trying to be arrogant. It's just I learned from some of the best people out there on how to get started, and I think that I would choose that path again. And so that path would be something like buying either a single family house or a duplex, maybe a triplex if you can somehow find one at that price. And just the point is something that you can house hack, which is where you live in it and then rent out a portion, whether that's bedrooms inside the house that you have or other units if it's a multifamily.
Nice.
So I would do that for sure.
To do a joint venture with like some friends. It's what I encourage a lot of my students and clients to do because, you could do something smaller, but if you can pile it together, work with a few friends, go buy a duplex, one of you could house hack it, get an Airbnb, something with a lot of cash flow that you can really utilize. You can do a lot with $25,000 and a couple extra friends that have some money to pool together. So
one of the first things I would do looking back is mentorship, a certain type of mentorship. And that wasn't just, going for the cheapest or the most expensive person on price. That's, again, going to networking events, finding a mentor, finding someone who you can sort of take you through that minefield and guide you over all the potential pitfalls, but also a mentor that can show me the opportunity that I've missed along the way because I was kind of in the way of myself when it came to mindset.
I would say to start with a house hack or a rental property. A lot of people might talk about wholesaling, things like that. that's what I do full time. I can tell you it's one of the hardest strategies to do in real estate because you need to have learned so much to do it. You don't need a lot of money to do it, but the learning curve is very difficult. So I bought my first rental property when I was 18, and I learned so much renovating that property, managing tenants, all of that. And I think when you're starting off in this, if you can get one property on your belt, ideally live in it so you house hack and reduce your housing costs so that you can save up for future purchases. I think that's your best strategy.
So you know what? I had a conversation with the bank one time. What do they like more? Somebody with $1 million or $50,000 that person has been at their job for 10 years? They'll finance that 10-year, $50,000 a year job. I would take that $25,000. I would, in today's market, for $25,000, if I don't have a personal home, I would absolutely buy a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, a residential financing with my $25,000 using my $5,000 down payment, and I would go in there. Obviously it's owner occupied for one unit. I'd flip it around and be able to do that numerous times. I will never sell that asset. I still own the first duplex that I own, and if that were to be my first strategy again with $25,000, I would still own that triplex or fourplex in my portfolio.
Awesome, I love it. You guys know I'm a huge fan of house hacking, so I definitely agree.
Well, you know what? You just start with something small, and a lot of people might be thinking, okay, Toronto, but Toronto is very, very expensive. It doesn't cash flow. Go out and explore what's around an hour and a half, 2 hours away, and the cash will bring you a lot further. Now, you can partner with one of your friends that has also potentially another little bit of money, work together, joint venture. I mean, there's tons of options. I mean, for me, how we got started, we bought a $129,000 house in Brantford. It was the cheapest, most basic house you can get, but you know what? It got us in the game.
So if people want to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
Best way to find me is go on YouTube and type in The Fruitful Investor. You'll find me there. Pretty much anywhere on Google, just type in The Fruitful Investor.
Yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, just reach out. It's Adam JD Martin on every platform now. So
I'm all over social media. I keep my handle the same, so you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, or my website, which is just Sarah Etter Invest.
The best contact, we're on Instagram and Double E Properties. Double E Properties is the name of our business. I'm on Facebook. My name is Michael Richter. You can look me up on there. Our email, reach out to me on email, doubleeproperties@gmail.com. That's probably the 3 best ways to get in contact with me.
The best way is probably just to email me, LucB, LUCB, @cashhousebuyer.ca.
MandyBrenham.com or on Facebook, Mandy Brenham. You can search Joint Venture Queen and a lot of stuff comes up.
Last thing, if people want to reach out to you, what's the best way to get in contact?
Through my website, sarahlarby.com, or they can send me an email at sarah@sarahlarby.com, or Instagram. I now have Instagram for probably the last year, and that's about it, which is Investor Sarah Larby.
Awesome. Hit her up on Instagram. Tell her she needs to do more on Instagram. I look forward to it. And thanks again, Sarah.
Thank you so much.